In Georgia, 14, 111,000. And if you add that up just on this committee, we have 606,000 kids that are relying on us to do right by them. And instead, we playing these crazy games because we worried about 10 trans folk that are in sports right now in college. I wasn't elected to be engaged in these fights. I was elected to make sure that those kids, the kids that they are about to neglect with these terrible votes that they're about to take, I was elected to protect them and to make sure that they could grow up and have all the opportunities. But let's keep on.
Buckle up, folks, because what just went down in Congress was less a hearing and more a political demolition derby. I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett taking a verbal sledgehammer to Marjorie Taylor Greene in a showdown that exposed everything wrong with how power is being abused on Capitol Hill. This wasn't just a policy debate. It was a full-blown clash of priorities, with Crockett torching the GOP's obsession with culture war distractions while kids lose health care and billionaires rake in profits. And when the heat got too real, Greene fumbled the rule book like she'd never seen one before. Let's break down the chaos, the corruption, and the cringe-worthy cover-ups in this explosive House hearing.
Fraud. We could investigate whether the White House and the members of this subcommittee engaged in insider trading and market manipulation. Maybe it's a coincidence that the chairwoman brought hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of stock the day before Trump announced a 90-day pause on tariffs. But I guess we'll never know. So finally, let's talk about abuse. Like how the Republicans have let Elon steal data of Americans and his competitors to make himself even richer. Look, don't let these hearings distract you from their destruction. This is rage baiting instead of conducting oversight over the issues that Americans actually care about. And with that, I will yield.
The gentlelady's time is expired.
Madam Chair,
I now recognize.
Madam Chair, I move down to take down her words impugning you. It's saying you committed a crime.
Without objection, so ordered.
Let's kick things off with the heart of the chaos. Policy priorities completely off the rails. Marjorie Taylor Greene was supposed to be chairing a hearing on government efficiency. You know, waste, fraud, abuse. But instead, she turned it into a full-blown spectacle about transgender athletes in women's sports. Enter Jasmine Crockett, who wasn't having any of it. She came in hot, calling out the absurdity of focusing on 10 college athletes while hundreds of thousands of kids are about to lose Medicaid because of GOP cuts. Crockett called it exactly what it was, rage baiting, a distraction from the real crises impacting American families. And honestly, she nailed it. This wasn't governance. It was culture war theater dressed up as oversight. All right, let's talk about the moment Jasmine Crockett flipped the script. Because while MTG was busy blabbering about transgender athletes, Crockett dropped a political nuke in the form of insider trading allegations. And let me tell you, this wasn't some vague jab. She laid out receipts, 17 stock trades perfectly timed right before Trump's tariff flip-flop. That's not just lucky, it's suspiciously strategic. And get this, while the rest of Wall Street took a punch to the gut, Greene walked away with a 29% return. That's not oversight. That's a Wall Street miracle disguised as a legislative coincidence. Crockett didn't say you committed a crime. But let's be honest, when you start talking about market manipulation and profit timing, the implication is loud and clear. And Greene's reaction? Total panic. When someone has to call a 20-minute timeout to Google the House rulebook, you know they're feeling the heat.
The committee will suspend.
Point of parliamentary
The committee will
inquiry.
suspend.
Point of parliamentary inquiry.
We're going to go with hers first, right?
Madam Chair.
The committee will suspend. The member will state the words she wishes taken down.
Well, actually, Madam Chair, the words were actually not made. in a
The
timely
committee
manner.
will suspend.
I don't have the exact words.
Okay. The words alleging a criminal act by the chairwoman.
What words?
We will suspend. We will have
The committee will suspend. The clerk will go over the recording with the stenographer, and the committee will suspend.
After Jasmine Crockett lit up the room with her insider trading mic drop, Republican Nancy Mace jumped in, trying to scrub Crockett's words from the record, saying they implied criminal behavior, which technically breaks House rules. But the real show? Watching Marjorie Taylor Greene try to navigate basic procedure like she'd just wandered into her first committee meeting ever. Total confusion. She didn't know what to do, didn't have the right wording, didn't even know how to respond. The whole hearing got suspended for a solid 20 minutes while they scrambled to check the transcripts like it was a courtroom drama. Crockett never actually accused Greene of a crime, but watching Greene and crew fumble the rule book on live TV, priceless.
Miss Mace, I'd like to ask, we've looked at the words that were said, and it's borderline whether it's parliamentary and goes along with the rules, saying could and accusing the White House and members of this committee of crimes is borderline. So in interest of the hearing and our witnesses that are here today defending themselves against the mentally ill biological males that have invaded their sports, and in the interest of making sure that we stay on track instead of getting sidetracked into Democrats' nonstop fake accusations, I just ask, thank you for bringing up the motion and ask if you
Yes,
like.
Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. With that, I now recognize. She already did, Ms. Stansbury. I now recognize Mr. Burchett from Tennessee for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chair Lady.
Madam Chairman, I'm sorry, it has to be withdrawn on the record.
She asked the question and she said, yes, Madam Chair.
You weren't listening, Ms. Stansbury. We handled that, and it has been removed for the record. The fake accusations of criminal behavior. Oh, are you accusing also and lying? And you're continually disrupting this hearing and won't stay on track about mentally ill men trying to beat down women in women's sports. We're going to stay on track now, Ms. Stansbury. So hopefully you can go along with this hearing.
And just when you thought it couldn't get more dysfunctional, boom, the whole thing spirals into full-blown chaos. We're talking shouting matches, rule book arguments, and Democrats like Melanie Stansbury and Stephen Lynch stepping in to call out the absolute train wreck of Marjorie Taylor Greene's leadership. It wasn't just a bad hearing. It was a symbol of how broken things have become on Capitol Hill. Greene ran the committee like a MAGA talk show, not a legislative body. The result? Total collapse of decorum, rules thrown out, partisan power plays front and center, and any pretense of serious governance out the window. This wasn't a committee. It was a warning sign that dysfunction is the new normal in Congress. And finally, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the circus. This hearing was supposed to be about government efficiency, tackling waste, fraud, and abuse. Instead, it turned into a full-on MAGA variety hour with Marjorie Taylor Greene obsessing over transgender athletes like it was some kind of national emergency. Democrats weren't having it. They called it out for exactly what it was: a pointless distraction, a culture war stunt, a total mockery of congressional oversight. This wasn't about governance, it was political performance art for the far-right base. And if you're wondering why nothing gets done in Congress, just rewind this hearing and watch the sideshow in action. Thanks for tuning in, folks. If you found this breakdown as wild and revealing as we did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more no-nonsense, unfiltered political commentary. We're cutting through the chaos and calling it like it is. Drop a comment below, share your thoughts, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. See you in the next one.
And I also
The gentlelady's time has expired.
I also want to acknowledge
The gentlelady's time has expired. I now recognize
do we not have a-
Ms. McLean
You spoke for over
from
a minute
Michigan.
more
Point of
than
order.
your allocated
You
time.
took a minute of my time, wasting my time on a non-point of order. The gentlelady's
Madam
time has
Chair, the
expired. I now
clock was not
recognize
running during the
Ms.
point of
McLean
order.
from
Point of
Your
order.
Michigan.
time was not wasted. And to the trans
I now
community,
recognize
we
Ms. McLean
stand
from-
with you, with the
Madam.
LGBTQ plus community. We stand with you, and you can
Madam
break
Chair.
my eardrums all you want, Madam Chair, but we stand with the LGBTQ plus community, and you can gavel me till
Order. This
cows
this
come
hearing
home
will
and it
come to
won't
order.
stop it.
This hearing will come to order.
Madam Chair, I have a
This
question.
hearing will come to order.
Madam Chair, I
This
just-
hearing will come to order. I now recognize
a point of order.
Ms. McLean
I
from
just
Michigan.
have a point of order.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let me tell you,
Madam Chair, I
yeah.
just was, I had a
What's your
point of order.
order?
Could we just have the timekeeper, log the time between both the Democrats and Republicans, and then we rebalance them so that we each have equal time? That's pretty basic.
We will consider that. Thank you.
No,
But
no, no,
stop.
no, 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 no. Let's-
You took
let's-
a minute of my time.
that's not
All
a
right,
suggestion.
okay.
Those are the rules.
Enough.
No.
You're wasting your
Hey,
time.
look,
That's
either,
not.
either we go
We
by
are
the
keeping
rules or
equal
we're
time.
out of here.
We're keeping equal time.
the door's
okay.
open.
Miss
All right.
McLean from Michigan is